Hello and welcome back to Maths with Mr. Duffield. I am the aforementioned Mr. Duffield, and I've had a whole load of requests for support this week. So let's get started with this question that has been set to my third form on the unitary method of working with proportion. I'll talk to you more about what that means in a sec. But first, if 24 marbles have a mass of 60 grams, what would the mass of 60 marbles be? The unitary method. What does that mean? It means find one unit. And then once we've found one unit, we can scale up to however many units we need. Now, this question, 24 marbles having a mass of 60 grams. So, 24 marbles weigh 60 grams. If I want to find one unit, that means I don't want 24 marbles, I want one marble, okay, which I find by dividing that by 24, but the weight of that is obviously going to be 60 divided by 24, because you're applying the same operation to both sides of this little equation that we formed, okay. 60 divided by 24 is 2.5. One marble is 2.5 grams. What would the mass of 60 marbles be? Well, I achieve that by scaling that up by the factor of however many marbles I want. 1 times 60 makes 60 marbles. And 2.5 times 60 is 150. So that is the answer to that particular question on this work. Now, I believe there were other questions, other applied questions that you were asking for help with. Let me just check for a second. Bear with me. 2, 3, and 4. 2, 3, and 4. Maybe I'll go through a couple of these, and maybe you'll feel brave enough to have a go at another. Nathan has 20 identical books on a shelf. The books take up 70 centimeters of space on the shelf, and he removes 7 books. How much space do the remaining books take up? Okay, let's do a similar sort of process, okay? 20 books take up 70 centimeters of space. Again, finding one unit is how we're going to deal with this, which we do by dividing both sides by 20 to find the length of one book. 70 divided by 20, 3.5 centimeters. So each of these books are 3.5 centimeters wide. Okay? Now removing 7 books. If he has 20 books on the shelf and he removes 7, that means he's got 13 left. I want 13 books. Hope that makes sense, which I achieve by multiplying this by 13. 3.5 times 13 makes 45.5 centimeters. All right, and that's it. Just scaling down what you've got in the question until you find one unit worth, and then scaling up to what you want to find. Let's move on to the applied question 3. Once I've done this one, I reckon you'll be brave enough, I hope that you'll be brave enough to try what's next. Just bear with me. A car uses 8.4 litres of petrol for a 112-mile journey. When the tank is full, the car holds 54 litres of petrol. How far should the car be able to travel on a full tank? All right, so this is where the wording becomes a little bit weirder, a little bit trickier to kind of decode almost. So what do we want here? We know 8.4 litres covers 112 miles. It's still the same. We're still going to go to 1 unit. In other words, 1 litre. How far can you go on 1 litre? Divide by 8.4 on this side to get 8.4 to 1. So divide 112 by 8.5 to work out the answer to that question. 13.3 recurring miles. Okay, that's a bit of a weird one, but that's okay. We know how far we can go on 1 litre. That question is asking us, how far are we going to go on a full tank when a full tank is 54 litres? So let's scale that up by multiplying by 54. 1 litre times 54 is obviously 54 litres. And 13.3 recurring times 54, that's the next operation. The answer is 720 miles. Okay? So that's the process of using the unitary method. Always dividing to find 1 unit worth of whatever it is we're working with, and then scaling that up depending on what it is that we're asked to find. Okay, I've done 3 questions on this. I know at least one of you was struggling with the applied question 4. Why don't you have a go at it? I wish you all the best, and I encourage you to get your work done on Teams. I will talk to you very soon.